Welcome, everyone, to Heart Mind Conversations with Cheryl Piper. And I'd like to welcome all the replay viewers. And so, for those of you who don't know me, I am Cheryl Piper, and men and women challenged by divorce, job loss, and heartbreak hire me to help them uncover sabotaging patterns that are really blocking them from their success. So, welcome to the show today. For those of you who are joining us live, I invite you to jump over to the original post for this show, which is at Cheryl Piper Sends Love. That is my Facebook business page. And I push this out on a lot of different hubs and a lot of different pages. If you'd like to be part of the show and comment and ask questions, this is where you need to be. Or you can simply click the link that's in the description of the post that you're looking at, and it will bring you over to this page because I want to be able to see your questions. I want to be able to see your comments. And I want you to be part of the show because this week's theme is lessons learned. And normally on Wednesday, it is my interview day, but my person that I was interviewing today had to move to later in the month. So I am just going to, I just thought I'd come on and we're going to talk more about lessons learned and are things happening to us or are they happening for us? Hi, Desiree. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much. And feel free to ask any questions, comment. It's just always fun to have people part of the show. So, in looking at lessons learned, are things happening to us or are things happening for us? So, this is kind of what we're unpacking this week. And I thought what we talk about today is can we change our thoughts? I talk a lot about this and actually in my conversational webinar that I do, which is the art and science of conversation. We talk a lot about neuroscience, and I'm not going to get into a lot of it today and make it boring, but it is exciting because we really can change our thoughts. And looking at the fact that we have a choice, and that's where we're stepping into it, that we do have a choice. Are things happening to us or are things happening for us? Because this is just different ways of looking at the same situation. And whenever we choose to look at challenges and say, you know what, maybe this is happening for me. Maybe there's a lesson here for me to learn. And believe me, I go through this on a daily basis. We all do. In fact, just the other day, I was standing in the kitchen and I had this kind of a dark thought come over and it was trying to sabotage me, kind of pull me down into that space of, yeah, maybe that's not really right for you, or, maybe it would be easier if you just, and I remember looking out the window at my backyard, which I love the view of my backyard. It does inspire me. And I said, no, that is not my thought anymore. And when I said that, it pulled me back into that space that I want to be in that positive space where I choose to live. So that just popped into my head. So I thought I would share it with you because these things come at us every day, all day long. Our ego is just really trying to pull us down into that space of fear. I'm just going to, because that's mostly where it is. There's a lot of different feelings that can be around that, but when you pull it all back, a lot of times it's fear. And when we walk straight into our fear, that's the space where we step into courage. When we step into courage, that's really that bridge that brings us from that lower level thought or that fear-based negative thinking into that positive thinking. And so if we can step ourselves into courage by, realizing that we have a choice. And, I thought, you know what? Why not talk about if we can choose our thoughts, why wouldn't we choose a positive thought? Because if there's a negative thought, let's just say that we've come to a Y in the road, and you can see that there's a negative path that you can take that kind of is making you feel a little good because it's allowing you to be a victim, and it's allowing you to, maybe not be responsible for what's really going on. But that road, and we've all been down that road, is not going to lead us to a positive outcome that we want for our life. And then we've got another road that, it creates a situation where we have to choose. It creates a situation where we have to look at ourselves and really be responsible for our thoughts and what we're thinking and what we're doing. And that road is going to take us in a positive direction. That road is going to lead us to where we want to be. And so if we have a choice between taking the road to a positive thought and taking the road to a negative thought, well, why not take the road to the positive thought? That's leading us where we want to be. And so I wanted to share, I put up a few images from Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I love Dr. Joe. If any of you guys are out there, are Dr. Joe fans, please, give a shout out, let me know. I first saw Dr. Joe in a movie way back in, I want to say it was probably 2004. The movie was called What the Bleep Do We Know? And it was really about what we're talking about today. And as far as can we change our thoughts? Are we what we think? And so I wanted to show a few images that I had that we're just going to unpack this as we walk through. And these are just some quotes from Dr. Joe. I hope you can see this one okay. It's a little small. And it says, the brain simply believes what you tell it most. And so we're in control of that. But what we tell our brains most is what we're going to believe. And what this picture is it's actually two neurons firing and showing that, that's where the action is. What is it? What's the message that we're sending to our brain? What is the message that we're telling ourselves most? And here's Dr. Joe, and he's kind of, throwing up a little fake brain, but this is a great quote. If you can't control your mind, everything and everyone else will. And wow, when you think about it that way, this is our life, this is our journey, and controlling our thoughts is where we do have that power. This is where our power lies. And I have one more, and this one is just so good. When you think from your past memories, you can only create past experiences. Wow, that's a big one. How many times do we have those thoughts over and over and over again? And as we look at this bottom part of the quote, we think somewhere between 60,000 and 70,000 thoughts in one day. And 90%, wow, 90%, had to say that again, of those thoughts are exactly the same ones we had the day before. Wow. That's really something pretty amazing when you think about it. And so in being able to change our thoughts, this is possible, but we have to take control. We have to decide that we're going to move into thinking a different way. And this is how we change our thoughts. This is an area where I help people, in looking at those patterns, those sabotaging patterns that really block us from success. because most people don't want to look at ego, victimhood, and forgiveness. Those are three big components on us being able to move in the direction of changing our thoughts and changing our life. That's a Wayne Dyer book, and it's a great one if you haven't read that one. Um, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Wayne Dyer. Excellent book. I actually have it on Audible. I love to listen to things as I'm driving or just kind of working around the house, and I'm able just to listen. But in thinking about changing our thoughts, having the correct tools to be able to do this, to be able to move into that shift, because that's what it is. It's a shift in thinking, and you can feel it when it happens, because negative thoughts are always going to come at us. We're in this physical world. We are in this world of contrast, because that's what it is. It's a world of contrast here. And if we didn't experience contrast, and if we didn't experience what we don't want, well, then how in the world are we going to know what we do want when it comes up in front of us? That is those experiences of contrast and those experiences of lessons learned, bringing it right back to the theme for the week. Because if we choose to view things in a different way, the outcome is going to be different. If we choose to stay in a thought pattern of, things are happening to me, the world is just coming at me and I can't control it, there's nothing I can do about it. Look at this that happened at work, and look what that person did. I can't believe they said that. Who are they? Those type of thoughts coming at us, and those type of thoughts that we allow into our thought system, versus, well, maybe there's something to learn here. Let's look at how many times have I been in this situation where a person is acting this way toward me, where I have this kind of energy coming toward me. Okay, maybe there's a lesson here for me. Maybe there's something here for me to learn and to grow and to stretch my soul and to stretch who I am and how I relate to others. That's flipping that thought around. That's changing the way we think. Because in doing that, it pulls us away from being a victim. Think about what I just said with choosing to view things in a way that there's a lesson. Did that sound victim at all? Did that sound like somebody's doing something to me and I'm just helpless? I can't do anything about it. That was a statement of power. That was a statement of taking control of your thoughts. Because I'm going to jump back over here again, and we're going to look at this last slide that we looked at. We think somewhere between 60,000 and 70,000 thoughts in one day. And 90% of those thoughts are exactly the same ones we had the day before. So in changing our thoughts, we're going to knock that percentage down. We're not going to be making decisions for our present, making decisions for our future with the past. Because looking at the top of this, when you think from your past memories, you can only create past experiences. And everything that has happened to us in the past, all of those things, they're a part of us. They have created who we are. And all the wisdom from those past experiences is already in us. We don't have to keep reliving those and reliving the pain and staying in that space. What we can do is choose to think a different way. We can choose to move our thoughts into a different pattern. And coming back to, I'm not sure if you can see it from this one. I don't think so, but you know what? I'm going to jump over here to the very first one that we had. And again, my apologies. I know it's small, but when you're looking at these neurons firing. What's happening there is this is a thought that's being fed. This is a thought that's being fed in the brain. So, of course, the neurons are firing with that thought. When we create new thought, what we do is by having that thought over and over and over again, what we're doing is we're creating new neural pathways so that those neural pathways fire. And this is how we're going to choose to think now. And we're actually rewiring the brain. This is called neuroplasticity. And it's amazing. I've been studying this for, I would say, probably 10 to 12 years, studying epigenetics and studying neuroplasticity. And it's amazing. We are amazing. Our bodies are absolutely amazing as to what we can do. And so bringing it back to lessons learned and having a different thought about what's going on, what's coming at us, because chaos is always going to be around us. There's always going to be something and some type of negative thought coming at us, whether, it's on the news, it's on Facebook, it's at work. There's always going to be that negative thought coming into our space. But we get to choose how we respond. That's the thing, is we can't control what other people do. We can't control how they come at us. We can't control what they say. Only they can do that. We get to choose how we respond. And we get to choose how we think about what they say, because we can either take that in. Oh, hi, Christina. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us from Ireland. We get to choose how we take that in. We can either take that in and say, well, what they said is true. I guess that's true about me. I mean, that's what they said, and feel bad about that and allow that person to have that kind of control over our thoughts. Or we choose and we say, you know what? Perhaps they think that, and that's okay. That's their thought. It doesn't mean I have to take it in. It doesn't mean that is true for me. And so I'd like to wrap this up coming back to lessons learned. There are many ways we can look at things, and we can choose a positive thought. We can choose a positive direction, and we can create those new pathways in our brain, in our thoughts, to be our natural response. All of a sudden, one day you're going to just turn around and go, well, wow, I really don't think that way anymore. That's fantastic, because your first response isn't going to be negative to whatever it used to be. And you realize that thought process has fallen away. Because if you don't feed those thought processes, you don't feed those neurons firing, they're going to fall away and make room for new thought. And that's what we're talking about here. So I'd like to just thank everyone who's joined me on live, on the replay. Please continue to add your comments. I will respond. And if you're ready to continue with your journey in discovering who you really are and letting go of all those past issues and deciding to think differently, I welcome you to contact me here on Facebook, and you can reach me at Cheryl Piper Sends Love. That's where you'll find me on Facebook, or you can message me on my website, CherylPiper.com. And I would just once again like to thank all of you for joining me, because I know you guys can spend your time doing anything. So I appreciate you taking the time to join me live, to join me on the replay, and to be part of the show. And next week, I just want to do a little plug here, because next Wednesday, oh my goodness, my guest has a worldwide launch happening for his business. And oh, thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you so much. He has a worldwide launch coming for his business, and he's going to do it right here on my show. So I am so excited. And I invite all of you to come. You'll see the promos happening for it throughout the week. And it will be in my normal time, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. You guys have a great week. I will see you Friday because my new day for meditation is Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care.